Hello, my name is Starlight, and I am reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And it's later in the day because Starlight has been busy, and because I've been changing a lot as far as my YouTube videos go. So yes, it does take extra time to add all those goodies in my videos. And anyway, I want to reach out to all of you and see how all of you are doing. I hope you're able to get out in nature like I am. And also this, I hope you're being positive because there's a full moon today. Ow! So happy strawberry full moon day to all of you. Whoo! So anyway, also, not only to make sure you get out for a hike, make sure you bring plenty of water. I have a couple bottles with me right now, and so like I said, my day has been busy. I will be running somewhere else after this to kind of end my night in a good way. I don't want to work out before I go to bed because it's very hot today, and it's been like that for a while, and I'm not complaining because I came from New York. We get snow out there. So anyway, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up. That is if you want to be that change that you want to see in the world, and it does take a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to be that change. But you got to believe and trust in yourself and God that you can do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And also, don't forget the notification bell. That way you do not miss any videos. Plus, you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for all the new people that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. I just got a new one today, so thank you. And really, most of my subscribers are people that I actually met face to face all this time traveling. So Starlight has been a little busy bee. And also, you can leave a message down below, beep beep beep. Plus, you can share any of my videos with anyone. Family members, cat down the road, dog down the road, bird in a tree, turtle in a pond. I don't care, share it with your turtle or dog. And also, besides sharing, you can check out my playlist, or don't forget my playlist. And you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, here we go. I was trying to figure, I've never been on this trail, and this is a place that I have fallen in love with. I'll just show you the sign quick. Now, this is a beautiful place. I could live here. It's so beautiful. So I have been down this way further down on this trail, but I've never been in this location. So let's check this spot out. And there's a lot of different rest areas and little picnic areas in this park, and this is a beautiful, did I say beautiful place to visit and spend some time, and it's great because it's got part sun and shade in this area. So here we go, and today is a very serious topic, and I've been wanting to do it, but I've been working on other videos trying to mix things up because many of you know, and I believe it was Dean, if I got the name right, I hope. But recently, one of the people that have subscribed and that have been so sweet, and there's other people that left a comment on a certain video that I made, and I just want to say thank you to both of you that have reached out to leave a comment to Starlight. And because let's see, it's been like a good week now that I had it was a Friday, so it's exactly been a week. So it's been a week from this day here when I found out that my brother passed away. And I believe it was on a Friday morning, when I received the call. And so I wasn't sure what day, if it was the day before, or, what day. So it was a Friday that my half-brother, I don't know if I mentioned that in my other videos or other video. So my half-brother and is that we didn't grow up together, but, we ended up he actually found me as I was growing up. He searched for me on foot, and he never had a car, never had his license, for health reasons. And it's kind of strange how, all of us have loved ones, mom or dad, some of us, we don't have any sisters or brothers, but somehow or another you got here, and everybody has different ways how they got here on planet Earth. Me, I actually got here on a UFO. Wow, there's a deep, look at this. Isn't this so beautiful? It's like, I love this. It's so beautiful. And there's another deer. Starlight's good about finding these babies. There's one. But look at this. This is a treat for Starlight and all of you guys and girls that are watching. But this is what happens if you don't watch Starlight's videos. You never know what you're going to miss. And this baby is right on the trail. I don't like to spook anything out here, but that's a young deer there. Beautiful. It probably doesn't know what to think right now, but it's gonna move. But anyway, like I was saying, is I don't want to spook them. Starlight, there it is. I gotta try to. There we go. Oh, that's funny how it's like. But I want them to kind of do their thing. Yeah, they're both young ones. I don't know where their mommy is. But, oh, there's another one. 3 of them. Look at this. It's so beautiful. You're going to see it popping out. There it is. Ah. Thank you, God. See, what does it mean when you see a deer? They're not really afraid. They're actually doing their thing. That one's kind of... Ooh, another one. That's 4 altogether. This is a blessing. So what does it mean when you see deer? They're all the small ones. I don't know if there's any more popping through. Normally they come in groups anyway for when they're going through. So this is such an awesome time. Timing is everything, and Starlight just got so lucky here. And to be able to witness these babies. I'm a nature girl. I don't want to separate the little family that they got here. I want to help them where they stay together in their group so they don't lose each other. But yeah, they're not so skittish out here. Normally they see you, and sometimes they challenge you to see if what to think about you. But yeah, now that one's kind of taken off. They're sniffing out here. But this is so beautiful. And this is the first time I just told somebody, I'm like, oh my, all this traveling that I've done in New York, I was always seeing deer somewhere. And they're sniffing, trying to get a scent. But yep, there they go. They might have, it's hard to say, there's other people out here. They might have picked up other people because they kind of took off. But I'm not going to apologize. This is a treat for all of you. And so anyway, like I was saying, like with my, we all got family, and Starlight came here with a UFO, went through her portal. And some of you might be giggling because if you know what my portal is, it's not very funny though. So anyway, we have family, at least a mom and dad. Some of you might have brothers, some of you might have sisters, some of you just might have one brother, one sister. I don't know how many family members. And then you got, some of you might have kids. You might have more than one child. You might just have one child. So, and then some of you might have, a friend, so those are very hard to come by, Sometimes, these trees are, I'm sorry, Starlight loves these trees. They're so beautiful. The bark on these babies. Isn't that so beautiful? I want to go hug it. I gotta make sure it doesn't have poison oak on it though. So, like I was saying, as far as family goes or friends, or even pets, pets are like our kids, so I don't know, a lot of us have already lost something as far as, maybe you lost a pet when you were younger or even growing up or even recently. And if you've ever, lost a pet, oh, there's two different trail colors. So there's blue, so we're gonna go for the green. Starlight's going for the green. And so you might have a close friend, or like I said, a pet, that might have passed away. I'm surprised that it didn't go very far. So yeah, because look at that, they're all over here. I don't think they really mind Starlight a whole lot because they can sense people's energies and stuff like that. And they like, yeah, the Starlight chick's cool. They know Starlight is always feeding every animal. So yeah, so we've all, or maybe you've not, maybe you've never experienced death at all as far as losing somebody close. Or maybe sometimes, we lose people that we know. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at how beautiful you are. Look at you. I don't know where your head went. Oh, there you are so beautiful. Starlight loves you. But they are so beautiful. I am just so blessed. I've had a beautiful week this week, I have to say. God has been treating Starlight. Yep. So, guys are not even afraid of Starlight. They're just hanging out over here. They are like 20 feet away from me. They don't even care. They're like, it's just light. We can just relax around her. So what I want to talk to you about today is, now, of course, some of you watching this already gone through maybe some kind of loss in your life, whether it's a dog or a pet or a person or friend or family, is that you might have already experienced that. And some of you could have lost family members like a mom or a dad or a sister or brother, boyfriend, husband, wife, girlfriend, anybody. And so we all actually respond differently to all these different people, and depending on how close you are. This is a zigzag trail. This is kind of funny. So we're going to go back around where the deer are. They don't even know what to think right now because they're like, wait a minute, she went that way. So they're just staying close. They don't want to they're just trying to stay in their surrounding areas. So, yeah, so, we all lose different people at different times. And like I said, some of you might have never experienced what it feels like to lose somebody in your life, or at least somebody close. So this video is to help people on what you really need to be careful about when you find out that you lost somebody. And some of you might go through something and have to look online to how to deal with grief when it comes to losing a loved one. And you might have found this video by experiencing it in your lifetime right now. And if you have lost a pet, or a family member, or a friend, I am so sorry for your loss, as far as losing somebody like that. And it is very painful. And I have lost several people in my life, people that I was close to, like friends. And then I had a mother figure that I lost, an elderly lady that treated me really good, like a mom. And like she just was so wonderful. And and then I lost my brother. So I did have, and I lost other people too. A person that's how I ended up going to find out about God and Jesus, because of the loss of somebody that I was close to. So, and so sometimes, losing somebody, it could bring somebody to Christ like it did with me. My whole life changed in the year of 95, and that's when that person, a guy named Dave Chico, Dave Chico, I say Dave Chico, that is his two names. He had a nickname, Chico, but his real name was Dave, and he was a close friend of mine, and I was close friends to him and his wife and his family, and so he passed away like 3 days before my birthday in August of 95. So I say that's my favorite year because a lot was going on. That's when I found God, found out about Jesus, found out, that's when I got saved and repented of all my sins at that time. So everything does happen for a reason, and sometimes we lose people in life because sometimes people can be selfish at times and, not be there for people. And even children, sometimes this happens to people where they can get sick if you're not really paying attention to them and stuff like that. And, I've seen this, like throughout my life with children. It's so important to be there for your kids because it could, people can get sick when you're focused in the different places and time. I gotta figure out what trail. See, this is where they don't have any markers here. So I'm gonna go for the center one, the fork in the road. So as far as dealing with grief is, I really want to let you know, and because I just went through this, so I'm taking it by my example of what I went through, is if you are going through grief right now and you lost somebody, I'm going to actually go for the right because I think this is going to take me to the paved road, is if you are working at the time that this happens, like any relative or somebody, it doesn't even matter who they are. If you really have a real close connection to that person, sometimes we might have a closer relationship with our brothers or sisters or somebody else. Like with my brother, he was one of my closest family members, and I'm not counting my kids on this or my grandkids, just my family where I was brought up, and even though I did not get brought up with him, he's a half brother, but he was my closest. I was closer to my brother than I would, even though I grew up with my mom and dad, I was more connected to my brother, so I had a relationship with him as far as a sister goes, and we really, most of our time, we were just getting caught up with stuff, finding out what we were doing, the things that we've learned, so it doesn't matter. Sometimes, you could be closer to a friend than you could be, depending on what kind of mom and dad you have. Some people, they had great moms and dads, or a great mom or a great dad, and then you lose your mom or dad, and it's devastating because those are hard. You can't replace those kind of parents at all, so and that's why it's good if you have a great mom or a great dad or a great uncle, whoever you have in your family, is to be there for them, because sometimes people really don't open up, and they feel it's a burden to come to people for help when they really need it. And that's why it's so good to check up on those people and, have a close relationship with them, because, when people are, depending on what kind of life they've had and background they've had, and we all have struggles, and we've all gone through some form of abuse, or maybe some cases, maybe a big maybe is maybe you've dealt with several different forms of abuse in your life, and dealt with a lot of different things, and that's probably the norm right there, is dealing with all kinds of different forms of abuse through our life. And so you never know really what people are dealing with inside their headspace or their heart and their minds or whatever. And that's why I put on these videos all the time about, don't just be, it's great to be there and have yourself to be first in life, and take care of all your needs. But at the same time, if you got people that are there loving and supporting you, is to check up on them, make sure they're doing good, because you never know, they might not want to open up. Maybe they don't feel safe enough to open up to people and communicate with them. And especially if you're going through problems like wanting to end your life, those times right there, when you are thinking about ending your life, it's like really like very hard to open up to somebody, and to even to find somebody that you trust and that you can feel safe, and to open up to express how you feel, because not everybody is going to understand, especially if people had a great life, didn't have all the stuff that you had to deal with. They're more than likely not going to understand. They're going to look at your life and kind of, the outside of it, and say, look at what you got going on. You got a husband, you got children, you got this, you got that, you got a house, you got a car. How could you want to end your life, where you really, a person that is going through those kind of problems, that is just like those are not those things to say to a person is not a good thing to say at all, because it really can really backfire for that person that's reaching out for help. So it's so important to be there for those people now while they're alive, and that's why some people, when they do lose somebody, my daughter was going through this. I actually told myself I'm not doing this. So I told my daughter, I said, she felt guilty because I'm going to zoom this in. This is beautiful. But look at, there's another spirit animal. So what does it mean when you see a red cardinal? I think that's a red cardinal, but it's beautiful. So yeah, sorry, I'm doing that so quick. That's why it's so important to really be there for those ones, that are really there, that have been there for you through the thick and thin. It's because you don't know. Maybe, they don't feel safe to open up. So, and that's why some people ended their lives, because they don't think anybody cares, and, they afraid of being judged and criticized, so they might end their life that way. Many people do, because they don't think anybody cares about them. And it's a lie that the devil planted in their head, so that's why it's so important. That's why some people actually do leave this world, is because they didn't love themselves, and then they don't think that anybody cares for them. So, so if you recently have lost somebody, or maybe in the past have lost somebody, is number one important thing is, especially if they're really super close to you and you really had like a good relationship with them, or sometimes and I'm not here to talk bad about my brother, it's just that sometimes we can have, and that, just like marriages or families, you have your ups and downs, and that's pretty much, like I said in the other video, like with my brother, we've had some crazy ass fun times together, laugh our butts off. I got some goofy pictures, I could be myself around my brother. He taught me many things. But on the flip side, things could, at times didn't go as smooth as I wanted to, and so there's times that I've had to separate myself from him. But, the whole time I loved my brother. That's what I call unconditional love. It doesn't mean that, just because you let that person go in your life, as far as hanging out with them, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. So this is a beautiful trail right here. I've never been on this. I've been in through this area, but not on this one here. So Starlight's curious. And with that, no matter who they are, and like it could, be a family member that nobody got along with, and maybe you were really close to that family member, and that's how it was with my brother. Is that not everybody, he was his unique self, but not everybody could accept him for who he was. So, but I could. I loved him as a human being, and, so there's times that we have people like that in our life where, maybe you were the only one that could love that person the way you did, and maybe other people couldn't accept that person. But, when they were no longer here, you felt it. You experienced the pain of losing them. Even though they could have drove you crazy and, get you upset, but you unconditionally loved that person. And, that's how God is with us. God loves us unconditionally. And, God, I'm sorry I moved the camera like that, but God sees what we do and hears what we say and knows that, when we're doing, like making the wrong choices in life or taking risks that we shouldn't, unhealthy risk that we shouldn't take, God loves us. God isn't prejudiced, doesn't love one race more than another, and race is an illusion anyway. So with that is, if you lost somebody, and it doesn't matter how anybody else thought about that person, is number one, you're going to really want to take time away from work if you are working. If you are working, either call, on the phone, whatever is the easiest way for you to do it, and let them know that, if they really are a good employer, is that, that they're going to let you take some time off. And this is a great test for the company, as to see what kind of boss you have, because if you lose somebody, it is so necessary that you do take time off from work. And if you don't have to go to work, like Starlight wasn't working, but it was a big, huge struggle for 4 days straight. So with that is that you really are going to want to really take good care of yourself. Make sure you try to get as much sleep as you can in those days. And besides getting enough sleep, you might want to actually, eat berries and eat fruit and stuff like that to help you to keep your immune system good. Because when you lose somebody that is close to you, and like my brother, is when you do mourn, and I did for days, and I didn't. You never know when it's gonna hit you. At first you might feel sad about losing them, and you might feel pretty strong at the time, and then before you know it, bam, it hits you out of the blue, and you don't even see it coming. And then you start bawling your ass off, and thinking of that person. So what I'm here to tell you is, when that starts happening and you do it more than once, it has a way, and this is exactly what goes on with a person that's suicidal, is it has a way of taking things away from your body that you need, the stress of crying. But it's so important to make that time, and especially in a private setting, sometimes it's going to happen, and this is what happened with Starlight. It might happen when you're driving your car. So really, if that starts happening, because things can trigger at any time, any moment, you never know when you're going to start crying, especially when you lose somebody, because it's hard to stay in the now at that time, but you got to face these emotions when they pop up and let yourself cry. Give yourself permission. It's okay to cry, but what it is that you don't want to cry for a long time, because the longer that you cry, it's going to take more from your body, and it's going to really drain the life out of you when you do that. And it takes days for you to get your body back to its regular self. So it's so important to make sure, depending on the time of the year, especially if it's summer and it's hot, is make sure you're taking, really it's the self-love part is so important on this, is to make sure that you are getting plenty of water, especially if it's hot out. Make sure you're getting, and if you're in a house, or if you like Starlight, I really was outside all that time, but I really, this is a time that don't overdo it with house chores. Don't overdo it with yard work. This is a time to give yourself permission and say, you know what, it's okay right now. I'm gonna take a break from, all my different responsibilities. Try to have balance as far as it goes to, doing house chores and anything like that, is because it's very hard to do anything when you are mourning over a loved one or even a pet. So you really want to love yourself enough to, make sure that even if you got to take vitamins in those days to get your immune system, if you know what is good for, berries are really good. Like I just, even like grapes or strawberries, or get your pineapples, oranges, or whatever, is to try to, eat enough of that stuff. Have some, get some fruit and vegetables in your body to build your body up, and get as much sleep. If you cry yourself to sleep, cry yourself to sleep, but you don't want to cry for a long period of time. You want to kind of break that up, because like I said earlier, it's going to drain you a lot, and it takes time to recover after this. So you really want to love yourself enough, and don't put a guilt trip on yourself, because that person, if it was a person that actually passed away, if they really were true and sweet to you and they loved you as a person, they're not going to want you to have a guilt trip, because maybe you had your own stuff going on, and maybe you weren't there around that time. Like I wasn't there for my brother. I got to talk to him on the phone one time before he passed away, and I got to text him before he passed away, but I wasn't even, near him. I wasn't even in New York, and I didn't know how serious it was, as far as, because he went down really quick when it all happened, So the most thing I can say is really, you got to love yourself, and if you feel guilty about anything, you got to let that guilt go. And that person that passed away, and if they loved you, like I said, they're not going to want you to feel guilty. They're going to, just believe that they went to a good place, and trust that God is taking care of them. And their timing was the timing that God actually, that was their timing. And I know it's hard, especially depending on what your belief system is on that, because I know maybe some of you might watch this video and might not even believe in God, but everything happens for a reason, and sometimes we don't really know what the reason is. And with my brother, it's sad to know that he's no longer here. It feels almost you might be going through this yourself, when you do lose somebody, is you might end up feeling like it never happened, like you might be in denial, even though the person's no longer here. It just might not really feel like that actually happened, so and that's pretty much how I feel. It's like, it's weird that it happened, and yeah, it did tear me apart. I was probably the most emotional person that that is alive, that would feel this much pain for my brother. I was, and there's actually had a couple friends that they're probably going through some stuff right now, or was, because they were there helping them out, during these times when I wasn't there to help them out. So those people are, I know that they actually, felt the pain of losing their friend. And so all of us handle things differently, and you really, really don't want to go, and turn to alcohol or drugs at this time. You gotta be strong through these times, because that's what a lot of people do, is sometimes they find themselves, going to a liquor store somewhere and picking up wine or alcohol, and you're gonna do what you want to do, but really it could, depending on how you are and how your relationship was and the things that you've gone through, it could take you in a downward spiral quick, and like, especially if you drink wine or alcohol or even do drugs or even smoking cigarettes. Sometimes that's what people do, is because of stress, they don't know how to deal with the emotions. And I'm not here to say it's easy to deal with the emotions. I actually did a guided meditation for grief, and it actually pulled the emotions out of me, and then it had me to sit and just feel them emotions out. And it's not easy to do, but that's really how to get through this process better, is to face them, those emotions of grief and loss, instead of trying to run and hide from them. So I know that sounds easier said than done, but you're going to really want to rest and give yourself permission. You know what? If you're an active person like Starlight is, give yourself permission and say, you know what? It's okay for these days not to do anything, really. It's all about self-love. It's really, about taking good care of yourself, not judging yourself about anything in that relationship, and to remember that person that you lost is not going to want to see you, feel guilty about anything, and depending on the situation, there's times that we got to forgive those people that passed away, depending on what kind of relationship you had with them, and whether family or a friend. And as far as dogs goes, there's some people, or cats or dogs or pets, a lot of people, they're just like our family. So that's a very hard thing, because people go through that, and some people want to go right out and get another pet, and some people, because it hurts so bad to lose them as a pet, that they don't want to get a pet again, because they had that dog or cat forever. And so the best thing I could say when it comes to animals, I get connected with people that have pets. I can get to enjoy what it feels like being around a dog or a cat or whatever, and I can have that time. Give yourself permission, ask people around at parks or hiking trails, hey, can I pet your dog, or your dog, and that way you can kind of get a feel for the times that you had. And again, like with loved ones, is try not to focus on the bad times. And I know sometimes that's kind of hard. Maybe there were more bad times than good times, but really, focus on the the good times with that person. Like my brother, really, I didn't know this. I wish I knew it ahead of time, but it is what it is he ended up having his, cremated, where they have his ashes. And but he actually planned all this out with my daughter, is what he wanted to do. And I didn't know anything about this until later, because nobody knew what was happening. And that's how it goes with funerals. And when we lose people that we love, everything gets sorted out after the fact, and where they're going, if they're having a funeral or not, if they're having a wake or not, and all this stuff. So with that, what made it better for Starlight is when I found out the song that my brother had left, like if they were going to get together, as far as having, my brother did not have money, put it that way. He barely had enough money every month just to survive. So, and he didn't really want anybody fussing over him after he died. He wanted to make everything simple for people, because he knew the people that he was leaving, where they were financially, so he made everything simple. So he had a song, and it was called Spirit in the Sky. And, I've heard the song in the past, but when I found out about it, and somebody told me that, the video, so I checked out the video, and I was so happy then. I was like, okay, I knew I heard the song, but I wanted to listen to the words and watch the video, because I never seen the video before. And Spirit in the Sky was, I'm not sure what the singer was, but I mean, all you gotta do is type that up and you'll see the cool video that they made, and it was awesome. So it was letting me know that he's in a good place. So, and that's why it's so important not to beat yourself up, and, is to, really, it's not really a wise thing to, drive a car. Hang on, it's not a wise, whoopsie, I thought somebody was going over this way, but they went over that way. So it's not a wise thing to actually drive a car when you, like if you have lost somebody. It's best if you lost somebody is to, you could drive, but if you are thinking about your loved one, and, when you know that you're going to start crying, it's really best to try to pull over off the road and try to find like a shady area to park, and, be safe about your driving, because really those emotions are really powerful, when you lose somebody. The whole thing is about self-love, and remember, God loves you no matter what, and, God is going to take care of whatever, each person is different, how God deals with all of us, So anyway, is just to really make sure that you really love yourself. Don't be hard on yourself, and, get the sleep that you need. And my experience here was the 4 first days were the worst, The first day, it was bad, but then the second day it really slammed me hard, and next day it just, again, bam, bam, bam. So it has a way of draining you. And I got better, the 4th day I was not quite 100% myself, and that's why it is so wise to be kind to yourself, and love yourself, forgive yourself for anything that you felt guilty about, and if there's anything that you want to ask God to forgive you about in that relationship, or maybe, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you've gone through, but sometimes we need to, release all that stuff over to God or Jesus, and say, hey, I'm sorry. And the person that's, it's hard to say, because everybody comes from different backgrounds and all that. And I know this video is very long, but it's a very important video, and really a lot of it is because we had the deer in the beginning. So anyway, I really sincerely love you, and you're watching this video for a reason. Maybe you just want to, learn some stuff. this is a very important video to watch before any of those kind of things happen in our life. That way okay, I gotta be kind to myself. I gotta, and always know that, sometimes, like I did, I had to reach out to people, and, and I did. I got emotional on the phone, and I had my, a couple of family members that were there to love and support me. So I don't think they're going to watch this video, but thank you if you do. Some of you do watch my videos, but thank you for, loving and supporting me when I was going through those days. So it is important to try to reach out to somebody to talk to, and if you can't, maybe even if you have a therapist or somebody that you can trust, and be wise of who you open up to, really. And always remember to, and this goes on also when somebody is trying to end their life, is sometimes when we're trying to reach out to people because we need somebody to talk to and we're going through some stuff, sometimes don't just kind of be mentally ready and say, be positive when you try to call them, but to remind you that they might not answer the phone at the time that you call. They might not even know what you're going through. They might not even, they could be busy doing something. So always be aware that they might not answer the phone right away. And I know it sucks when you're going through those emotions, and just to be strong, just try to reach out to somebody else. And that can happen too. You might reach out to somebody else and they might not answer their phone. So this is the time that, even like what Starlight likes doing, is to take a nice bubble bath or relaxing thing. Or sometimes it's hard, like if you can go out for a hike. When you're really emotional though, it's just best if you can relax, maybe listen to good relaxing music like 432 hertz or 428 hertz, something that's calm and relaxing, even nature music or whatever, just even, whatever music really helps you out. And I really hope you get a lot of help from this, and I do love you, and I just want to be a support to people and help them. And these are things that I learned, in my life, the do's and don'ts when it comes to this. And anyway, I do love you. And yes, it's a long video. Anyway, I do love you. This is Starlight. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And, whoopsie, I got my dinger bell somewhere here. Oops, I heard it. Don't forget the notification bell. Plus, you could share. Don't forget, you can leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist. Plus, you could follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Starlight. So anyway, I love you all, and I really hope this really helped you out. And send me a message, let me know if what you think. And I love you so much. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.